Argirova, molam režija da pojdeme su prilog za konferencijata za pečat na gospodina Nimetz.
In terms of the context, this is issues evolved, come out of many decades of problems in the Balkans. The so-called Macedonian question was a question that was of concern since the beginning of the century when the Ottoman Empire broke up and the various countries took their place in the world community. And the peoples of these regions forming these countries obviously have taken decades to find their rightful place. The breakup of Yugoslavia led to a decision that each republic within Yugoslavia could decide whether to become independent or not. And the republic within Yugoslavia, called the People's Republic of Macedonia. Two people or two nations could have a difference, but agree that that difference will not interfere with other areas of cooperation. So obviously there will not be a perfect relationship between these two countries and these two peoples with this difference over the name, but there are many countries that are neighbors that have differences and have very good relations in other ways. This solves quite a few problems. It opens the door, it has Greek recognition of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. There is recognition of the frontier. There's agreement that all disputes will be settled by peaceful means. There's an agreement on the Constitution, which is now a settled matter. There is an agreement on the flag, the symbol, with the change in the flag. There's an agreement on open, unimpeded trade, which resolves the issue of the embargo. And there's a very important issue that Greece will not object to former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia joining international organizations. Greece used its veto power to keep them out of certain programs and certain organizations. They've agreed to not to use that power that they have within certain organizations. So we have solved many problems between the two countries. Greece has a name. Greece has a name. Now, let me say one word about the name. The constitutional name in the Constitution of what we call the former Yugoslav Republic is the Republic of Macedonia. So the country has adopted a name. Now, the United Nations, and Greece has objected to that name for historical reasons, which we can go into. The United Nations, in admitting the country, did not change the name or give it a name. It uses a reference. That is, it says, in the United Nations, this country will be referred to as the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, which is a mouthful, which I don't enjoy using, but I use. This is like calling the United States the former British colonies of North America. That's not our name. That's not our name. It's a reference. It's like calling Zimbabwe the former Rhodesia. That's not their name, but it's a way of referring to it. If you didn't want to say Zimbabwe, or you had a speech impediment, you couldn't utter the letter Z, you might say that's the former Rhodesia. So this is referring to this country this way, but that's not a name. Fyrom isn't a name, former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia is not a name. It's a way of referring to a country because of an objection over the use of a name. It's very philosophical in a sense, but that's the reality. So in a practical way, you refer to things. Now this doesn't happen. You know, there's an issue of the name between the UK and Ireland. I don't know if you know that. The Irish do not recognize the name United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They will not use it in any paper, and in fact, I understand with treaties, they will have separate pieces of paper because Irish will not recognize the name United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland. Also, the British, as I understand it, don't recognize Erie, if that's the way they pronounce it in Ireland. They use the formulation Republic of Ireland, but not Erie, because that implies the whole island. Now, that's gone on since the 1920s. The two countries work out very, very well together, but they don't technically formally recognize the name. And these two, there are other places in the world, the two Chinas. You know, Taiwan calls itself the Republic of China. We do not recognize that name. So when things come into this country from Taiwan, we insist on using Taiwan, but they refer to themselves because they haven't given up that idea. There are other places in the world where these types of disputes go on. It's not the end of the world. It's just the reality of the situation, and you work within the constraints of it. We call your country Greece. Your actual name is the Hellenic Republic, but I don't call you the Hellenic Republic. I call you Greece. And we tend to call the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, the Britain. You know, we use lots of words that are not the technical name of countries, so that I don't think it's a very, very big problem. The United States, we have recognized the country and extended diplomatic relations using the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Many countries have used that, but many countries have recognized the country under its constitutional name, the Republic of Macedonia. My sense is that most people, when they talk about the country in a non-official way, tend to use the word Macedonia. Many people do, including in this country. And what will be the long term? I can't say. But what people use informally, what people use officially, is for them all to decide. If it's the name of a country is basically chosen by that country. We do not choose Canada's name. We don't choose Mexico's name. The country chooses its name. Now, it's special in the sense that the neighbor objects to the name, but it's still, they have to choose their name. I mean, even Greece has never said that Greece will choose their name. They've said that they object to the name that has been chosen on the other side. And certainly, if this issue is resolved in a way, it's not for the United Nations to choose a name either. It is for the United Nations to admit a country. And then when it admits a country, what does it put on the plaque? What does, in front of the person? That's really the question. And in this case, they did not choose a name. As I said before, the United Nations did not choose FIREM as a name. It just said, temporarily, we will refer to this country as the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, as I gave the example, just as they might refer to us as the former British colonies in North America. It does not mean that that is our name, and doesn't mean that FIREM is a name of a country. It just means that there's some disagreement, and internationally, until that agreement is resolved, international organizations and certain countries like the U.S. Will not feel comfortable using that name because of the delicacy of the relationships. So we use a temporary reference, but we don't pretend that FIREM is the name of the country. Greece can change its name to the United States of America, but we are not worried about that, And Mexico could change its name to Texas, and the United States could change its name to Canada. But there are many things to worry about in this world. I think there's some things that you shouldn't worry about. I think right now we have a posture where the two countries are trying to work out issues and do not agree on this issue, and we'll talk about this issue, and hopefully we'll reach some type of accommodation here. Let's not worry about what will happen if they reach an agreement and then they decide to change the agreement. We haven't yet reached the point of reaching it. So I think you're being premature. There are enough problems that are real to work on, so we shouldn't worry about problems that haven't yet arisen. At least this is my point of view, but it's a very American pragmatic point of view. Sure. I will tell you two things. One is the people in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, their name to them is Republic of Macedonia. And when that is their name, and they refer to themselves as Macedonians. This is their position. The Greek position is they will not accept this country's name as Macedonia or Republic of Macedonia. These are two positions. Now, what is practical? What is practical is to arrange things in a way that you don't have to confront this issue in practical day-to-day life. If you want to be inflammatory or provocative with your neighbor, then you're not going to be successful in some of the practical relationships. We had discussions about this. Both sides agreed that they would work out mechanisms to facilitate travel, but in a way that does not require Greece to accept the name Macedonia, but also which won't require people from that country to do something that is demeaning to it, or to put something that's false. Both sides want people to move, both sides want trade, both sides want to do business together, and so people will work out practical ways of dealing with this.
Gospodine ministre, dobrodošli u emisiju i благодарам što došli.
Благодарам за поканата.